Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will look into the microfabrication of NMOS device. Before we look into the fabrication of NMOS, we will look at the basic fabrication process. The silicon wafer is initially cleaned with the chemicals like trichloroethylene TCE to remove organic impurities from the surface of the wafer, nitric acid HCl to remove ionic impurities, and finally to remove native oxide. The silicon wafer is dipped in buffered hydrofluoric acid. In oxide growth, we will grow silicon dioxide, which serves as dielectric material as well as mask material. The process is done in a specialized equipment called as oxidation furnace. Basically, it is a high temperature process done around 700 to 1400 degrees centigrade. The next important process is photolithography. This is basically a pattern transfer process from mask to silicon. The pattern is transferred from mask to silicon. It is similar to writing alphabets in stencil. Why I call this as important process is the minimum feature size of the device depends on this process. The equipment used is called as mask aligner, which costs around 2 to 4 crores of Indian rupees. In this process, we use a photosensitive material. That is, the metal properties can be changed from hard to soft or soft to hard by shining UV light on it. There are two types of photoresist: positive photoresist PPR and negative photoresist NPR. When light falls on positive photoresist, it becomes soft. When light falls on negative photoresist, it becomes hard. The next process is etching, that is removal of a material. It can be removal of silicon, silicon dioxide, silicon nitride, aluminium, gold, etc. The last process is metallization. We cannot take contact directly from semiconductor surface. We have to deposit metals like aluminium, copper, etc. This is done by the process called metallization. Finally, the semiconductor device is fabricated in batch or separated by dicing, that is cutting using diamond cutter and packed for interfacing with the outside world. Another important aspect is the devices or circuits are tested at wafer level after metallization and tested after packaging is done. So there are two testings. One is at wafer level testing and the other one is testing after packaging is done. The semiconductor devices are fabricated in specialized facilities called clean rooms. If the dust particles of size less than 1 micron or micrometer measured in 1 cubic feet of volume, if the number of dust particles is less than 10, then it is called class 10. That is, if you measure for dust particles of size 1 micron and less in a cubic feet volume, and if that number turns out to be less than 10, then it is called class 10 room. Also, the parameters that are to be maintained are temperature, humidity, etc. For maintaining the required clean standard, HEPA filters are used. It costs around US $20 billion to build a commercial fab facility. Well, what is the starting material to fabricate semiconductor devices? It is silicon. They are manufactured in forms of cylinders called ingots, then sliced like wafers. More or less, they look like Indian food, appalam or papad. After fabricating the devices, the final wafer will look like this. Each square or rectangle may represent a semiconductor device or circuit. Silicon wafers come as mirror polished, both single and double polished. They are available in market as either P-type or N-type and not as pure silicon wafer. They are not available as intrinsic silicon wafers. P-type are quite popular as fabrication is relatively easy on P-type compared to N-type wafers. The typical diameters are 4 inch, 6 inch, 8 inch, 12, 18, etc. And the thicknesses are 100, 200, 280, 320, 500 micrometers. Now let us look at the fabrication of NMOS device. We do batch process, meaning many devices or circuits are fabricated together. For example, when we are cooking rice, we don't cook granule by granule, we cook together. Batch means we fabricate all the devices together. That is the reason why the cost of electronic devices like mobile phones, in spite of having many functionalities, is low. The cost is low because these electronic circuits are batch fabricated. Here we can see 84 squares, where each square can represent an NMOS and each square is called a die. Let us look into the fabrication of NMOS device. Here we look into the fabrication of a single device. The structural diagram is shown here. We have MOS structure, the metal, oxide and semiconductor. Assume source, drain, metal, oxide regions as blocks. We are going to place these blocks by fabrication techniques. To fabricate this device, we start with a P-type silicon wafer. After basic cleaning is done, then oxidation is carried out in oxidation furnace at 1000 degrees centigrade for 4 hours to realize an oxide of 1 micrometer thickness. For growing dry oxide, we pass oxygen, and for growing wet oxide, we pass water vapor into the oxidation furnace, which is basically a quartz chamber. The next process is photolithography. To realize NMOS region, we use PPR, mask plate and UV light. PPR, mask plate. This mask plate is transparent in some regions and opaque in some regions. This is how the top view of the mask plate looks like. As I said earlier, this is pattern transfer process. It is similar to transferring alphabets using stencil onto a white paper. The mask plate has transparent regions and opaque regions. Light travels through the transparent regions and it is blocked in the opaque regions. When light shines on PPR, it becomes soft, and in the regions where light does not shine on the PPR remains hard. The soft PPR can be dissolved in KOH solution, and this process of removing the soft PPR is called as developing. After photolithography and developing, the wafer looks like this. The PPR now can protect oxide in some regions like face mask. The next step is we need to etch or remove the oxide. After oxide is etched using buffered hydrofluoric acid, then PPR also is stripped or removed using acetone solution. We have metal oxide semiconductor structure. To get the MOS, we have to grow thin oxide. We have to do a quality thin oxide. Basically, this is a thin oxide deposition process. Here, instead of gate metal, heavily doped polysilicon is deposited, which acts like gate material. Now, photolithography is done to realize the gate region. This is mask number 2. Wherever we need to have gate material, their PPR is retained. The light cannot pass through the opaque region of the mask. Here the PPR is hard, and in other places where UV light shines on the PPR, it will become soft. And the soft PPR can be easily removed. After developing, this is the structure we see. PPR was protecting gate polysilicon. PPR is protecting gate polysilicon. In other places, polysilicon is etched, that is removed. Then PPR also is removed. Again, photolithography is done to realize source and drain regions here. So this is done using mask plate 3. It has 2 transparent regions and the other regions are opaque. After developing PPR, this is the structure we see. Then etch oxide with PPR as protective material for oxide. After etching oxide, we see the structure. Remove PPR. Do phosphorus doping in furnace with phosphorus as a source material. This will realize 2 diffused regions, source and drain. Remove oxide. The last step in fabrication is to get metal contacts for source and drain regions. For this, we will do metallization. So aluminum is deposited. Do photolithography one more time. We want metal to be present on source and drain regions. In other places, metal has to be removed. After this process, the final structure looks like this. Basically, this is a 4 mask process. More the number of masks, more is the difficulty in fabrication. Thank you.